Hey, quick question before we even say hello. When's the last time you looked back on a whole year and thought, what did I actually do with that?
Ooh, starting strong today.
I told you it was going to be a heavy one. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Everyday Show. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Jake, still recovering from that question.
Today we're talking about something a lot of us avoid thinking about not wasting your life.
Okay, well, I'm listening. Let's get into it.
So last month, I ran into an old classmate at a coffee shop near my apartment. We hadn't seen each other in almost 8 years.
Oh, wow, 8 years is a long time.
I know. And at first it was exciting. We hugged, we laughed, we sat down with our coffee, but then she started talking about her job, and I could hear it in her voice. She said, Chloe, I'm still doing the exact same thing I was doing in college. Nothing's changed.
That's rough.
And she tried to explain how she felt, but she kept saying things like, I don't know, it's just, I feel bad about it. She couldn't really put the feeling into words. Not in English anyway, she was practicing with me because she's applying for a job abroad.
Ah, I get it now. So she had the feeling, but not the vocabulary.
Pretty much. And I remember sitting there thinking, this happens to so many of us. We feel something real regret, frustration, a wake-up call, and we just don't have the words for it.
Yeah, I've been there too. A few years ago, I looked at my savings account and just felt stuck. I knew what I was feeling, but explaining it out loud, way harder than I expected.
So that's exactly what today's episode is about. We're going to teach you how to talk about regret, goals, and change in natural English.
By the end of this video, you'll be able to say things like, I don't want to waste any more time, or I wish I had started sooner, and actually sound like you mean it.
And stick around until the end, because we've got a role play where two old friends have exactly this kind of conversation. It gets pretty real.
Trust me, you don't want to skip that part.
Okay, let's start with cluster 1, how to talk about regret.
The main phrase here is to regret. It means to feel sorry about something you did or didn't do.
For example, I regret not learning English earlier.
There's also a really useful structure, I wish I had, plus the past participle. It's how we talk about something we didn't do, but now wish we had.
Like, I wish I had traveled more when I was younger.
Or, I wish I hadn't quit that job so quickly. Notice the hadn't there. That's for something you did do, but now regret.
Good catch. Okay, cluster 2 talking about long-term goals.
The phrase life goals is pretty common now, even outside of English classes. It just means the big things you want to achieve in your life.
You could say, one of my life goals is to start my own business.
There's also to make the most of, which means to use something as well as possible, especially time.
I want to make the most of my 20s before things get more complicated. That's such a natural sentence.
It really is. Okay, cluster 3, how do we talk about wasting time?
The simplest way is literally to waste time. I don't want to waste any more time doing something I don't enjoy.
There's also to put something off, which means to delay it, usually because you're avoiding it.
I kept putting off my English studies because I was scared of failing. Ugh, that one hits close to home for a lot of learners.
There's also a softer version to drag your feet on something. It means to do something slowly and reluctantly because you don't really want to do it.
He's been dragging his feet on that decision for months. That one always makes me picture someone literally shuffling around, avoiding a phone call.
Haha, that's exactly what it looks like sometimes.
Okay, last cluster, talking about actually changing your life. To turn things around means to change a bad situation into a good one.
After that conversation with my friend, I decided to turn things around. Solid example.
And finally, to take charge of your life, meaning to take control instead of just letting things happen to you.
She finally took charge of her life and applied for that job abroad. And that's exactly what our friend from the coffee shop story did, by the way.
She did. We'll come back to her a little later.
Actually, can we slow down for a second on that first cluster? Regret is such a big topic, and I feel like a lot of learners only know the word sorry.
That's fair. Sorry is fine for small things like bumping into someone. But regret is deeper. It's about looking back at a decision.
Yeah, so you could also say, looking back, I should have studied abroad when I had the chance. That should have structure works really well here too.
Good point. Should have plus the past participle is basically regret's best friend. I should have called her back, for instance, or just, we should have left earlier.
And the negative version shouldn't have works the same way. I shouldn't have waited so long to start.
These little grammar patterns seem small, but once you have them, you can express years of feeling in one sentence.
That's kind of beautiful, actually, for a grammar lesson.
Haha, don't get too emotional on me, Jake. Okay, one more thing on goals before we move on. A lot of learners confuse goal and dream.
Good distinction to make. A dream is something you hope for, even if it's not realistic yet. A goal is something specific you're actively working toward.
So, my dream is to live in another country versus my goal this year is to save enough money to move.
See the difference? The goal has a plan attached to it.
Right, and that's really what today's episode is about. Turning your dreams into goals and your goals into action.
Okay, I love that. Let's keep going. Before we go further, if this episode is hitting home for you, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new here.
And here's your question for today. What's one thing you've been putting off? Write your answer in English in the comments below. We actually read them.
Yeah, we love seeing your answers. Some of them are genuinely really moving.
Also, if you want to practice conversations like this one with real people, not just us on a screen, we have a small practice community linked in the description.
It's a good place to say these phrases out loud, get feedback, and not feel embarrassed about it.
Because saying, I wish I had, out loud for the first time, that can feel a little vulnerable, you know?
Better to practice with friendly strangers than to freeze up in a real interview.
Time for pocket words. 5 words to add to your vocabulary today.
Word 1. Regret.
Regret. It means to feel sad or sorry about something in the past.
He regretted not saying goodbye before she moved away.
Word 2. Procrastinate.
Procrastinate. To delay doing something you should be doing.
I always procrastinate when it comes to studying grammar.
Word 3. Fulfilling.
Fulfilling. It describes something that makes you feel satisfied and happy because it's meaningful.
Teaching English online turned out to be really fulfilling for me.
Word 4. Mindset.
Mindset. Your general attitude or way of thinking.
A positive mindset makes learning a new language so much easier.
And word 5. Priority.
Priority. Something that's more important than other things and needs your attention first.
Making time to study English became my top priority this year.
Now let's smooth out some common mistakes. Ready, Jake?
Born ready.
Number 1, someone says, I lost too much time watching TV.
Ooh, close, but not quite. We don't usually lose time like that, we say waste time. So I wasted too much time watching TV.
Right. Lose is more for things like losing a game or losing your keys.
Number 2. I wish I start learning English before.
That structure is a bit tangled. Remember, it's I wish I had started learning English earlier.
Past participle after had and earlier instead of before at the end like that.
Number 3, she took charge of her life last year.
Missing that past tense. It should be she took charge of her life last year.
Small word, big difference.
And finally, number 4. I don't want to lose more time.
Haha, this one again but flipped. Same fix. I don't want to waste more time. Waste, not lose.
You'll never make that mistake again after this episode.
Okay, let's actually practice these phrases together. Not with characters or anything, just you and me being honest for a second.
Oh, put me on the spot, why don't you?
I'm serious. Jake, is there something you regret not doing?
Honestly, yeah. I regret not taking that job offer in Chicago a couple of years ago. I keep wondering what if.
Why didn't you take it?
I don't know. I guess I was scared. I kept putting it off, telling myself I'd think about it tomorrow, and then tomorrow became 6 months.
That sounds exactly like what my friend from the coffee shop was going through.
It probably is. A lot of us do that. We drag our feet on the big decisions and then wonder why nothing changes.
For me, it's more about wasting time on things that don't actually matter. Like, I'll spend an entire evening scrolling my phone and then feel awful about it.
Same. And it's funny, because if you asked me a year ago, I would have said my mindset was fine. But looking back, I should have taken that risk when I had the chance.
Should have. Nice. You're using it correctly already.
I'm a fast learner. Okay, your turn. What's one of your life goals?
Honestly, I want to make the most of my 20s before things get more complicated, more responsibilities, more bills, all of that.
That's a solid goal. So what does making the most of it actually look like for you?
Traveling more, saying yes to things that scare me a little, not just waiting for the right time, because the right time never really shows up on its own.
That's the thing about waiting, isn't it? It's basically procrastination with a nicer name.
Haha, that's painfully accurate. Okay, so if we both know we've been putting things off, what do we actually do differently starting now?
I think it starts with just deciding to turn things around instead of talking about turning things around. Small stuff first.
Right, like taking charge of your life doesn't have to be some huge dramatic moment. It can just be one honest decision.
Exactly. Mine is calling that recruiter back this week. No more excuses.
And mine is booking that flight I've been thinking about for 3 months.
See, this is why I like doing these episodes. We're basically therapy for each other.
Cheaper than therapy, at least.
If you're listening and you just thought of your own answer to that question, that's exactly the point of this whole episode.
Okay, let's do a quick recap. Today we learned how to talk about regret with phrases like, I wish I had, how to talk about goals with life goals and make the most of, and how to talk about change with turn things around and take charge of your life.
Plus our 5 pocket words: regret, procrastinate, fulfilling, mindset, and priority.
And remember our friend from the coffee shop, the one applying for that job abroad? Sometimes the hardest part isn't knowing what you want, it's knowing where to even start when everything feels unclear.
Which is actually the perfect setup for our next episode.
In our next video, we're talking about exactly that feeling. It's called feeling lost in life. We'll teach you how to talk about confusion, uncertainty, and finding direction, all in natural English.
If today's episode hit home, that one might hit even harder. Don't miss it.
If you enjoyed this episode, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this today.
See you in the next one.
Bye, everyone.